Damn, bro, you got a Sharpie? Damn, I don't think I got one on.
Yeah, Sharpie.
Okay, just like that. What's good? It's Mac from Confident Entertainment, and I'm sitting here with my boy. What's good with you?
How you doing, bro? How you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Chandler Paul? Is that what you go by, or like, is it just like?
It's Chandler Paul, yeah.
Like, is that your actual name? I just know it sounds like a real name.
Well, Paul comes from my middle name, but my last name is not a part of the company.
Oh, okay. Like, why'd you choose to use like your name?
It rolls off the tongue. It sounds nice. Sounds like a designer.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
It really does. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I seen it, I thought you actually like picked the name. Like, you know, it's a strong name.
I got you.
So I'm looking at all your designs, like, and I love how like different and articulate it is. I've seen you in the thrift stores and everything like that.
Yeah.
Give me a rundown. Like, how did you even start about getting into fashion? Because the fashion that I see you doing now, does it seem like you just throwing CP on the shirts, not really just no merch thing? I really feel like a good like fashion. I get that fashion designer vibe when I was looking at your Instagram and doing a little research on you. So tell me, like, how did you even get into that? Because I know nobody just jumps into like, dang, I'm gonna do what you doing.
It was more like an accident. I'd say I don't really have a distinct day that I got into fashion. There's little bits here and there in time that kind of inspired me to get to where I am right now. I'd say starting off in fashion was a complete just disregard for it. I didn't really mind it too much. It was like, you know, t-shirts, straight cut jeans, whatever. And that's not even too long ago. That's like freshman year of high school type stuff.
Okay.
But getting more into it, I think it just happened by accident. More interest in what I'm wearing and what I look like. But it got into also the point of seeing things like Gucci or Louis Vuitton and realizing I can't afford that, but this is my style. What am I gonna do? But getting into that, it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna make it myself. Whatever. What are you gonna do?
So like that was kind of like an inspiration for you.
Inspiration and more, and maybe a challenge as well. If I can't afford it, then I'm gonna make it.
I understand that. I like that way of thinking. So you saying like around freshman year. So I see you like that's probably like, you know, you first getting into high school. Yeah. So when you say you're looking at like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, like was it anything else that inspired you other before just like those big designers?
I'd say it I think my start into getting interested in what I was wearing is a little bit spiteful in the sense. I come from a family that was like, you know, you wear very conservative things, just nothing that's too out there and wild, just the normal. And it wasn't really something that was enforced. It was just I was never around it. I was never around fashion like that. Nobody cared. Therefore, I grew up not caring.
Okay.
But when I start getting reaction from changing the way I dress, whatever being negative or positive, it didn't matter. It was something that I enjoyed. I enjoyed doing it. So it was a new sense of something that I got to experience that I ended up falling in love with and continuing.
I know this might be a hard question, but like, do you remember like the first like, you know, like fit you put on, you look down, you were like, okay, like, you feel me? I should probably like really care, because I know you said like you got reactions, negative or positive, so I know that was probably like going through your mind. Definitely. So do you think you can remember? I know it was probably like you said like freshman year. So what do you think?
Yeah, it was. I from start day one to about that time, I was wearing straight leg jeans. It was Levi's, went to JCPenney for them. You know what I'm saying? It's just the normal, you know, the plain Jane, just
the 501,
the 501.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But I was like, it's getting boring. It's the same shades every year. So I was thinking, all right, let me look up some brands. Let me ask my homies for some brands that I can go to that have the style.
Was it first like Louis Vuitton and Gucci that like you kind of looked into?
No, that was later actually than this. But I remember asking one of my homies, like, you know, where do you find some good jeans? They said PacSun.
Okay.
So I went on PacSun. This is around the time of Moto jeans. You know.
I know exactly. I know what you're talking about.
All about that stuff, bro. But getting into it, I was like, all right. I checked out PacSun later that day, and I saw a pair of, it was like royal blue denim. They were super skinny, and they had half moto on the leg. I wore them all throughout high school. That was my first pair of like skinny jeans, my first pair of moto jeans. They had rips in them, first pair of ripped jeans. And, you know, family was like, what is this? And I was like, this is what I like. This is what I like. And I bought more. I bought more of that stuff. You know, the moto jean style was in. I was going all after it. I had the ripped up jeans. I had all this stuff. That's where it just started. It started at the denims, which is why I hold such a great affinity for denims in Chandler Paul. But going, you know, of course, it's going to spread. Denims turn into shoes and then the shirts and just all this stuff. You get into accessories and stuff like that. So it blossomed from an innate change in boredom in what I was doing at that point in time.
So some of the friends that you asked about your fashion, like, do you still like talk to them now? Like,
my brothers.
When you ask,
my brothers, every day.
Okay, you kept it at home,
Yeah.
Okay. So like, did they tell you like, man, we should start like making clothes or something like that? Like, how did you feel like you got into the fact like I can just start making shirts?
There was a time we were all interested in fashion, and we had this big grandiose idea to start a brand. We had a name for it, all this stuff, all ancient history now. And we had an idea that could have worked, and it just kind of fell through. Never actually happened. But starting in that, I was so serious about it. I wanted it so badly to happen. I didn't realize until after it died out that I was like, I could just do this myself.
Exactly.
But that was also around the same time that I found out about Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all those other designer brands, not just exclusive to them. I think it was like it was a field trip or something like that, and we ended up at the mall at Lenox in Atlanta, and I'm wandering, I find Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I'm like, this is the best stuff in the world. I love this.
This
is eccentric. This is my style. I'll wear this, and that's where it came from. I was like, all right, I can't afford it. Thousands of dollars for a coat. I'm good. I'm just gonna make one. I'm just gonna go home and make the same thing.
Okay, I understand that. I like the inspiration. Yeah. So, what kind of stuff did you and your brothers think about making at the time? Do you feel like it's kind of the same, like, of what you're going for now, or like?
Definitely not. It was nothing ever really was made from the initial business idea of doing it all together. It was all like just on paper, really. I know that something that we wanted to do was to embrace each of our styles in a separate but together format. But it was it just nothing ever really came of it. I knew we kind of had a basic idea of what we like to wear, and of course fashion was changing, and we were young at that point in time, so we didn't really know exactly what we were getting into. But no, I would say that it was nothing really ever came out of it. But besides starting up this or the other inspirations that they took away from it.
Okay, so in 9th grade, knowing you wanted to change your style, like you never like, like it wasn't just a phase for you. I see that you still like rocking that whole like, definitely. Streetwear vibe, streetwear like, fashion. So you never thought about like maybe we try something else, dabbling something else, because we in 2020 now. So from those 4 years, you never wanted to like experiment with anything else. Yeah.
So,
or you just knew you was gonna like take that style and like run with it.
No, I'd say fashion is my innate passion. This is what I like to do. I'm an artist at heart. I paint, I draw, I do all that stuff, all the creative art stuff. But it's not just fashion. Even now, it's not just fashion. This is my business. This is my baby. This is what I'm gonna work on until I'm hopefully till I'm dead. But I don't just do fashion. I think before fashion ever came around, I was very much into video editing and photography and Photoshop and all that stuff, getting into the more multimedia type things. Fashion took me very easily at that point when I got to it. But when it comes to fashion, when you're doing things like this, when you're starting up a company, you can't just know how to sew clothes. You can't just know how to do that or produce. You got to get into logistics. You got to get into if you have a website, you need to edit your website and learn how to either pay somebody to do it or do it yourself. You got to get into the trade, going overseas and trading with people, so you can get things made at a massive quantity. So it's not just the fashion. It's that this is the mother, but everything else is prerequisite. Okay. So I'm very much into a lot of different things. It's just a matter of what I'm not into.
Okay, so I see you're like mainly going with the fashion. You said you like to draw, paint, do all the other things. Most so definitely. I know you could have just looked at fashion like this is what I like to wear, but I see that you took and actually like making clothes. So you never thought about, man, like I could draw, like I could paint, like you never wanted to take that somewhere?
Take it as a profession.
Like as a hobby really, or a profession?
Oh, it's a hobby right now, yeah. Definitely a hobby right now.
So it always stuck?
It always stuck, yeah. No, it's not as prevalent as it used to be. I don't do it as much as I used to, just being busy with what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
But it's the passion is still there. My muse is still there. There's no blockage at all. It's just that's what I would say is more of a hobby.
Okay.
Painting and drawing, mainly painting, definitely oil.
Okay. Like, what got you into painting? Like, you know,
It's
fashion.
always been there.
It's just always been there.
I don't know where it came. Ever since I was like longer I can remember.
Oh,
That's
really?
how long I've been doing it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna lie to you, because like when I used to like color and stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. Like,
Oh yeah, you hated
I always went outside the lines, and I would see other people doing it.
That's
Like,
good. That's
feel
good,
me?
though.
They'd do it like so nice and shit. I'm like, damn.
Nah,
like,
lines are
all
bad.
right, they could
Lines
do
are
that.
bad. Nah, no lines, man.
You said no line, no
no
line.
freestyle, white, plain, just something, just.
I would never know where to
canvas.
start. Like, I'd be doing like 5-6 stick figures just to make it fill up the page. You know,
Start something. That's all right.
Yes,
Anything on page. That's art.
So since I know you've been painting for a long time,
Yeah.
like what's like the first like piece that you would be like, maybe I could sell this, or first piece that you looked at was like, okay, like dang.
I don't think I have one. I know I never had an interest in selling my pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I've given them to people as gifts. I've done them for myself. I have a whole room full of just paintings.
Okay.
So I don't know. I've never really put a price on anything. Not because I think it's invaluable, just because I don't think I want to sell it.
But do you feel like it's good enough to show the world? You know, you're giving us gifts and stuff like
Sure,
that.
yeah.
Do you feel like you
Why
should?
not?
Why can't you bless the world with the rest of them?
Why not? Maybe after I'm dead.
You said maybe after you dead.
Let someone discover it. It's treasure. Who knows?
That would be something crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Find a
Your
room
name
full
will
of
really
paintings.
live on. Your name will really live on for that.
Room full of paintings. Who knew? Same way that people find when music stars pass away and they find a hard drive with thousands of songs.
Oh yeah, and
No
it'd be
one
like
knows
10 years later.
Exactly.
That would be actually like that would be fine. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go.
I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I like that. So all right, I know you going full forward into fashion. So tell me, like, was it like the first like fit that you knew, like, let me make this into a shirt or something like that? What inspired the first piece of Chandler Paul? Because I know it didn't go through with the last thing that you wanted to do. So like let me ask you, did that like ever stump you? Like, did you ever like feel some type of way that it didn't go through, maybe thinking you shouldn't? Because I know you're doing it now, but like, did you have like any milestones you had to go over like when you were going through
Definitely.
that?
I think the biggest one was support from the family or people around me. So when I started this, when I started getting into fashion, was like really getting into it was probably like sophomore year. And I don't even know what age I am at that point. Who knows? And I'm starting investing into like resale stuff to make money off of it, or buying these outrageous clothing that no one really understands in my family. So it was support from the family eventually where I sat. I'm like, look, I'm making clothes, but it wasn't a matter of sitting there and doing it. It was a matter of just doing it. I had a table up in my room. I didn't have a workshop at this point, and it was that's a whole other story of how it's like the first piece I ever made, you know. And it's just getting started and then getting it done, going downstairs and say, hey, this is how much I'm getting for it. This is why I did it. This is my design. And they're like, all right, well, I guess you're doing that now. And they realize that I'm actually real about this.
So that first reaction was good, like when you presented it to them.
Yeah, the idea was a little iffy. They didn't really understand what I was doing. But as far as the initial reaction when the first thing happens or the first piece drops, like, all right, well, I see you're doing it. I see you've done something good here. So, all right, sure. And from there, it's just been full force.
Okay, I'm glad like your folks really like, you know, feel me, they came through, that they really like what you were doing. Was there any like bad vibes between you and your brothers, knowing that you tried to do something with them and it didn't go through?
Oh no, that's family. I've known them for 10 years. They're not blood brothers.
Okay,
but they might as well be, honestly. But it was never bad blood. We've had plenty of business ideas and ways to make money together that just fell through. That's just a part of how the friendship goes. No bad blood, never.
Okay, I was just wondering, you feel me, like you making clothes also, and I'm not gonna lie, like I see it's like up there, so I wanted to add.
They took their own stuff and they're going far with it right now. They got their own little road they go on right now, and they're doing like excelling in it, I would say. So there's no bad blood, no animosity.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So tell them, like, all right, so you just made your first shirt.
Yeah.
Do you remember like what it was?
So if you're looking for the idea for the first like item that I made, we didn't actually start with shirts. We started with belts.
Okay.
And that was definitely a weird thing. So I found an opportunity, or I guess an open opportunity to make something at a massive level. Before that, it was all cut and sew, handmade stuff. And while that's not bad at all, it's
like
just a matter
you cutting, like you was just gonna go by that like there was nothing. So you was cutting and sewing it.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff.
Oh, like yourself.
Yeah, myself.
Oh, okay. Like in a little table you said you had.
Oh yeah. The original table is just a fold-out table that it's just where it happened.
Okay, I like that.
But when I found this opportunity to do massive sales or produce overseas, I found the opportunity to create the belts. They're iconic now apparently, as far as I can tell. But the belt started off very, very early. That was like the first like massive, like that was a product that I had many of, and I could produce many of very quickly. So that started out with me getting the material in, trading overseas, getting it all done and dusted, and believing that I could do it. And a couple months later, I had a wheel of material and a bucket of buckles. So I'm sitting there sewing them together myself and getting everything made, attaching them, putting them in bags. And I'd say the first batch I made, I had 5 of each color. I started with a black belt and I started with a rainbow belt. It was the first 2 ever made. And I had a batch of 5 in a just a gallon bag, Ziploc. Brought it to school. I said, check this out, yo. I'm making, this is what I'm doing. If you're interested, take one. I got you. And that's how it started. So from there, sales started coming in. I started making some money off of it. That money came, that money I got from the belts, almost 100% of it went into making t-shirts. So in January, I think this was, I started the first set of t-shirts. It was 3 designs on 2 colors, black and white. And I actually got one of them made here for you.
You really kicked the door and you made it, went into school. Like, were they rocking it? Like, were they making good fits out of it?
Oh yeah, I'd say it was very selective. A lot of people didn't understand because it's like, you know, you think about Louis Vuitton, it's LV, it's on everything. You read the name, that's a part of the style. Same thing with Gucci, Balenciaga, all them brands, Vlone. So when you're going in like that, I thought, I'm trying to be a high fashion designer. I'm not trying to be just straight streetwear. I'm not trying to be just like another PacSun. I want to be a designer. So named the company after myself and then put my name on the belts because that's how the style works. That's if you want to rock it, then rock it this way. And there was like mixed reactions, I would say. The people wondering why put the name on it. It's kind of weird. People hating on it, saying that I can get this for $10 on Amazon. That's fine. And then there's people who loved it. They're like, oh, this is amazing. I love what you're doing with this. Let me get one. And I'd say all of those people, regardless of what their reactions were, pushed me further in different ways, of course. So it was a mix of misunderstanding or just not messing with it or just liking it so much that really got me off the ground.
Okay.
But getting to that point in time was different. It was a matter of like, I mean, you know, when you're starting a business like that, you need to make money. You got to have, I'd say, I think the first batch of belts cost maybe $600, and that's a lot of money for me back at this point in time. And to get that money, to start that off and save up that much, I was fixing cell phone screens.
Okay.
You know, that's the beginning of it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna lie, like that's a nice little hustle. I felt with that.
I figured out how to do it. I learned how to do it on every type of iPhone. I only did iPhones because I wasn't gonna mess with them Androids. Sorry, y'all.
Ain't no wrong with little Android, little Galaxy.
Come on, man. But I was fixing iPhones for 2 years and saved up all that cash, got up to $600 and turned that $600 into X amount that I can't talk about.
Okay. He said I flipped it. Okay, but I know that you was talking about like at first you was just working on that little like, you know, for that table. Like what was like that milestone? What was that thing that made you go like, damn, like let me go into a workshop. My shit getting big. You feel me? I need to move up.
I think it was. It was a matter. It wasn't really. I think it was that the desk got too crowded.
Okay.
After a while, there was too much stuff on the desk. I cleaned it off every single day. When I made something, it got destroyed again. I'm thinking, all right. So at the same time that I decided to switch to a workshop, at the same time I built myself a desk. So I got a giant wooden desk right now that I'm working on. And from there, it was just more space. So when I lost the amount of space I needed, when I kept having to clean it constantly, I was like, all right, it's time to move up. It's time to do some different stuff.
Okay. Like, what does like your workshop kind of look like?
Workshop is, I'd say at this point in time, we just renovated it, so it's more functional than it was originally. Kind of in a donut shape, I'd say. It's very open. Anybody can be in there. I can have 10 people in there working at the same time if I need to.
Oh, that's very spacious. I like to hear that.
And the walls are like covered in materials or tools or just anything that you need to create anything you want. It's a really open space for anybody who wants to create something.
Damn, like to go from like that little table to something like that, that's something crazy. I know you walk in there some nights or some days and you're just like, damn, like
it feels good. It's good energy, definitely.
So it's always positive vibe. Like in there, like when I know you say you got like 10 people working. Like what's something that you like to like listen to? Like what's something that you know, like say like a good Saturday morning. You know, got a couple Joe, got a couple like orange juice, whatever you got. You're just gonna walk in there. Like what's some vibes you want to play?
I'd say so. It depends on the time. So it definitely changes. I'll either have music playing or I'll have something on Netflix playing.
Okay.
As of recently, you know, Avatar is back on Netflix.
Oh God, The Legend of Korra. I'm not gonna lie.
I've been watching it. I'm an old fan. You know, I love that show. I've watched it a couple times now, and I'm about to move on to Korra. I've heard mixed reviews. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Take it how you want, but I like it.
Okay. Take it how you want. I'll take that into consideration.
Okay.
But yeah, that's that. Right now, that's what I've been doing. But I'd say music-wise, you'll mainly hear R&B type stuff, hip hop, the original stuff. Just and a lot of alternative. It's real mixed up. It's nothing that's really just set in stone. The kind of music. but it just depends on what day it is, I'd say.
Okay. So kind of like, where do you see like, you know, Chandler Paul going within like the next like couple years? Because I know you say you want to paint, do all these other things.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot of different hobbies because you know time's gonna go by. You know, Corona happened. You might have some open times on your hands. So what do you feel like in the next couple of years you might take it? I know you're gonna still push the fashion.
Of course.
What you feel like you might pick up some hobbies? Like what do you feel like the fashion is gonna go to?
I think the fashion is gonna get. I'm not giving up. It's just point blank simple. It's just it's gonna happen one way.
So you're gonna do it till you dead.
It's gonna do it. I love
what you're doing now is crazy.
I love making clothes. I will do it till I'm dead. I promise.
I just gotta ask you. The Converse thing.
Yeah.
What was the idea behind that? I'm not gonna lie.
The Moonwalkers. The Moonwalkers.
Oh, that's the name.
With the zippers on.
Yeah.
That's an old design, man. That's crazy. I think so.
Was that just like the thing that you made, like, or is there like available to people or something?
It was it was one of one that I made. Mm-hmm. Now I've seen designs now that are very much similar to that. So I've seen some on Doc Martens. I've seen some on Vans. But when I made them,
I've seen some on Chandler Paul's.
There you go, bro. There you go. But when I first made them, I hadn't had the idea before. But it was I bought some black Converse. I'd worn them a little bit. Whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. They're Converse or canvas shoes. And I kind of got sick of having to unlace them all the way when I wanted to take them off because they're so damn tight, you know? So I was like, all right, how can I fix this? I started looking up like what kind of shoes are like step in, step out. They have elastic, can't do elastic. It's Converse. I don't want to cut elastic in there. And then I started looking into. I got stuck on astronaut shoes. An idea behind that, different like concept models back in the Apollo days. So I'm thinking, all right, what you got? Let me take a look. It was a pair. It had a zipper on. I'm thinking, that's it. So I went downstairs, grabbed them, cut the tongues in half, laced them back through, put eyelets in them so I could run the laces back. And then sewed a zipper in there. It was tough because I had the right machinery to do it, but I figured out how to do it by hand towards the bottom because it just didn't work that way. And when I got them done, I was able to lace them up at the top, up at the ankle, and then step into them and zip them up, and they wouldn't go nowhere.
That's fine.
That's where it came from. And they were a very like concept piece, I would say. I didn't really take them very far. It's a Converse shoe at the end of the day. I don't have the money to produce shoes at that point in time, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk them a little bit and then retire them. And that's where they are right now, really retired.
Dang, so would they ever be available to people? Like if they wanted to get like a different color or something, or even blood?
I might make I might make those shoes again one day. They're not going to be the way they are right now. They're not going to be the Converse base. They're going to be a different silhouette of something that I can put together. But I still like the idea of being able to unzip your shoe and just step out of it. You know, just real simple stuff.
Okay. I wanted to actually like say something. You said you put the aglets through them. You know, not a lot of people don't really even know what that is or know what that word is. So when you said that, like I caught it, I was like, damn. I was thinking like people don't really know that shit. That's fine that you know.
It's all about the details, man. All about the details.
Oh god. So like I said, where do you see like your fashion being like in the next few years? I know you do like you know shirts, coats, jackets, belts. Do you ever feel like you're gonna do hats or anything? Put your name on anything else?
Yeah. So the high right now the goal is high fashion. We're trying to step into that. We've been mainly street fashion. We kind of pushed into high fashion a little bit. I make leather goods and stuff like that. But as far as that goes, anything that a person can wear, you can expect out of Chandler Paul eventually. Even stuff that's not even invented yet. Okay. So it's just a matter of experimentation, design process, and then having the funds to do so. So if I had $1 million right now, you'd see denim jackets tomorrow. But that's just the funds aren't there right now for that. So you can expect a little bit of everything eventually. It just depends on when and where, and then the season, whether I'm inspired by it. So this season, you might see hats. Who knows? Just depends. Or next year.
Okay. Who knows? I like that. Like I like how like from like 9th grade you kept pushing it, even though with the reviews. When I say reviews, like reactions, how you said, even the way how you like produced, like made it, and like went to school, people was rocking and all that other stuff. I know you said like this is like what is it? You said it was like your bag. Yeah. So you made this. Like I see you got your name.
So
like
this is a shopping bag. We had.
I know you said you got a little shirt right here. I was like, I looked down. I said, is that his name on there? I said, is that his name?
So this is the shopping bag you get when you get me in person, or if you have a really large order online. So this is usually what you're getting your product into. It's gonna have a tag attached to it.
This is smooth.
Yeah, nice little tag.
Well, you said this the tag?
This is the tag. It's gonna have your price tag right there.
Damn.
I think you got it upside down there. Yeah.
Ooh.
There you go. Yeah.
That's beautiful. No cap. Like attention to detail. This item cost. I fuck with that.
Yeah. So these are the bags you get in. Right here, I got you something. I found this recently. This is a design that has not been seen for a while. So this is one of the first edition designs from the very first set of t-shirts. And this particular graphic was only 25 were ever made, but only 4 of them were ever printed on black T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the last one. This one's yours.
You know how niggas be saying like this watch be like there's only 5 of them in the world.
Yeah.
I got that one Chandler Paul in the world. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, man, this is original.
Is that the tag?
That's the tag. I still did it myself. You can tell because it looks like shit.
How do you like? That's so like. What made you want to be able to like to sew though? Like I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people just pay somebody. You feel me? Trying to run it up and do it. Like have somebody else do it.
It's cheaper. It was cheaper.
That is, but the work though, like
also,
what? Like
it was,
that's crazy.
It was quality assurance. I can't trust nobody to do as good of a job as I can. Now, right here, this is bad for me right now. As you know, this is 3.
So where you at now?
3 years ago. This is
damn. This 3 years ago.
It's 3 years.
So
ago.
I got put in a glass case.
If you want to, brother. If you want to.
Okay.
But you know, like quality assurance back then was a little different than it is now. But it was always a worry about quality assurance. I couldn't trust that somebody could do as well as a job as I wanted them to do on my stuff. So I decided, all right, I'm just gonna do it myself. So when I was making these shirts, it was I got the blank shirt, I had this created, had the tags created, I had the graphics created, and I pressed the graphics on myself, sewed the tag in, and that's a finished shirt. That's how it was back in the day. It was a whole process line. It was just me in there.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, you see, one of the original designs. This you would have seen this back in the day in high school. You know what I'm saying? This is something that people would have worn back then.
I'm not gonna lie, Mr. Chandler Paul, I fuck with everything you doing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I fuck with your story. I fuck with how like you're doing it personally. Because not like nowadays, people have a vendor and provider for everything. Like you are your own vendor. You are your own provider. Like the attention to detail like is immaculate. Like look like that shit is hard. Like that product is hard. I didn't even mean to say that shit is hard. Like that shit like that is fire. You got the aglets right there too. Like you did that. I'm not gonna lie. Like
that's the secret. It's behind everything, behind every closed door is your quality assurance. And that's what's gonna set you apart from everybody else. Like so I decided to go the hardest way possible so I could get something like this and put this on the table today.
Man, that is designer. Like that is designer for real. That is designer. I'm glad I got to sit here and talk to you, Mr. Chandler Paul. All of his details will be down in the link, down in the description below. You'll be able to find his Instagram, his website, everything like that. I'm glad I got to sit here and talk with you, Mr. Chandler Paul. I really like what you're doing. I like the shirts. I like the jackets. I even like the belts. I like everything that you're doing. Everything you're doing, I see that it's gonna go far. So. Do you wanna make sure you spell like your name right for the Instagram? You think you spell out for us real quick?
Gotcha. So you're gonna find me at Chandler Paul Official. So that's the Instagram.
Yes, sir. Even on the bag.
BLERPAUL.
What? Hard. So, Mr. Chandler Paul, do you think you could tell me what is the next big next big product that you have coming out?
Next big product. So we got some.